So we have just changed our roof sections, and we now want to have a look at adding some doors and windows to your facade, or even changing where your current doors and windows are sitting. So I'm going to rotate my view around, just as a reminder, with my right click here to the other side. And I have decided that I want to add, I want to change this exterior door here to make it a little bit wider, because we have changed the length of my tiny house and we have a little bit more space. So we want to add some more light to come into the tiny house here. Okay, so I'm just going to enable my walls one more time here so I can see the exterior, and I will left click on my door, and the exterior door properties of the door that I've just selected will pop up here. And you will see some basic properties similar to the trailer for when it comes to the width and height pop up, and then some more specific properties for this door. And let's say we want to change the width of this door here. I would just go in here and change the width to, let's say, 2.5 meters to make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it 3 meters wide. Of course, this is going to be a heavy door when you're building it, so maybe let's bring it down back to 2.5 meters. And the height is currently set to 2 meters, and that's because most of the components in our library are all set to industry standards, and 2 meters is a good height to have your exterior doors at. So we'll just leave it at that. You can change the frame thickness and the sash thickness to just change the appearance a little bit. Let's say we can make the door a little bit thicker like this, but I'm just going to leave it at the standard because it looks a little bit nicer. And now what we're seeing is we have a door that is quite wide, and we might want to add another panel to change it to a nice trifold door, let's say. And we can do that by adding a panel to the panel count. So we'll, instead of having 2 panels, we'll have 3 panels. And just like with the roof sections, we also have equal panels here. So if we want to change the size of a panel and make it bigger than the other panels, we can disable my equal panels here. And let's say make the first panel 1 meter, the second panel 400 millimeters, and then the last one gets whatever is left over, which in this case is 1 meter again. But because it is a trifold door, we will want to have equal panels to make sure it opens nicely. But that's how you can change the arrangement of your doors. And now, of course, we've changed the size of a door. We now want to also add something new to the facade from our library rather than just changing an existing object. And I will just show you how to do that with a window. Windows and doors work very similarly, so I'm just going to show you how to add a window to your facade here. So I'm going to click on the window button. As a reminder, this here is the door button, which will show you your exterior and interior doors, and this window looking button here has your windows and skylights. So I'm going to click on my window library here, and what you will see are a bunch of different preset windows that you can use to then change the size and the arrangement of the segments for. So these are just some basic square and rectangle windows, but we also have triangle, trapezoid and pentagon windows and so on to create more interesting designs if you want to do that. For the sake of this course, I'm just going to go in and add a picture window. So I will left click, just as a quick reminder here, to add something from the library. You hover over the object that you want to add, left click on it, you don't drag, you don't left click and hold your button, you just left click it once, and then it will snap to your mouse automatically, and you can hover it over the position where you want to drop it. So you will see this orange outline here of the size of the window to show you where it is roughly placed, as well as the dimension markers here showing you what the distance is. And just like with the placement of the door that I've taught you at the start of the course, we will just place it somewhere here on the facade and then use the dimension move tool to place it accurately. Of course, you can also eyeball it, but I personally prefer adding the accurate dimensions like this. So I want to center this window on the facade, and to do that, you will see the 2 callouts horizontally here, this is 475 millimeters and this is 325 millimeters. And if we think about it, to make it equal, both of them would have to be 400 millimeters. So I'm going to go in and left click on this call out here and then just type in 400. We can even also type in mm if we want to. It will do the same as just pressing enter in this case. All right, now we've got the same equal spacing on both sides, and now we want to change the height of this window here, and we want to bring the sill height, which is the height of the window to the bottom of the trailer, to just 600 millimeters. And this is a quick design tip that I personally prefer to stick to all the time when I'm designing tiny homes. I usually try to line up the top edge of doors and windows at all times, which just creates a nice and even looking design. Otherwise you have a door that doesn't quite line up with the window and just makes a bit of an uneven design. So to make sure that the top edges line up, again, you don't have to do this, this is up to you. I would just look at how high my window is in this case, and it's 1.4 meters or 1,400 millimeters, and we have a sill height of 600 millimeters, which altogether makes 2,000 millimeters. And if we click on this door here, we will see that this height is also 2 meters, so meaning that they are now at the same height. Of course, if this was a different height, we can then make the calculations like before to make sure that they are all on the same height. Again, I'm going into a lot of detail, but if you're designing your tiny house and you want to be super accurate, that's how you would do it. Now to change the width of the door, of the window, you would do that just like you did with the door here. So I'm just going to go and type in 1,600, for example, to make it a bit wider, and I will nudge it over to the left by 100 millimeters to center it again. And one interesting thing about windows that's a little bit different to doors, you can also divide the window horizontally or vertically rather than just, in this case, horizontally. So I'm just going to add another panel to this window, and you will see it has put a sash right here in the middle, but we can click this horizontal panels tick box and it will now divide it the other way around. So for example, if you want to have a sliding window that goes up and down rather than to the left and right, you can do it like that. I'm just going to enable my horizontal panels again, and I will bring it down to just one panel to have a large picture window like this that you can look out of. Okay, so that's how you would specify your windows and doors. You can also add additional properties to the windows and doors, but I will get back to that when I export my plans, so I can show you how that works as well. But we will just focus on getting the design right for now.